Hello, my name is Francesco and I'm working here in Blue as a concept artist.
And I'm Simone, and I work in the commercial department of Blue as animation director.
We always were thinking about doing a personal project together, like on our spare time. And Blue gave us a really good opportunity to pitch our idea and to work on it together.
Francesco has a very strong eye for art and design, and I've got my storytelling and animation experience, so we sort of complete each other.
Yes?
So, shall we kiss now? Previously, with more stuff and no more stuff, we had we could put lots of creative input, but there was quite a set brief. We had a musical, we had a fake trailer. This year, the brief was very open, which was let's create for Christmas a VFX quality creature with hair and fur. What's the most entertaining thing you can think of when you think of fur is furry balls. The initial idea we had a lynx and a bird, only two main characters. And after talking to Tom and Adam, we thought we were missing something. We were missing a strong bond inside this story. So we decided to add the chick. We decided to add the songbird in order to create more dynamic and more tension between that loving relationship and the predator and the threat. That was something we were missing in the first idea. After that, after we set that and we made our first animatic with that new solution in mind, the story stayed pretty much the same since the animatic. So we were quite happy to do this decision. I think the baby bird adds a lot to the story. And after that, the story stayed the same pretty much, right?
I think the biggest thing was we dabbled in certain areas before, but this was really sort of on another scale. So we had immensely detailed character model, the rig was amazing, we had really dense fur on the characters and a number of props. And then we had dynamics on top of that. So it was all, there was sort of a lot to, we were very ambitious basically. Yeah. So from the modelling team who used ZBrush and then sort of retopper the characters and then in Maya, we pick up from there and do some texturing, either using Substance Painter or sometimes Mari, or a bit of Mudbox as well, especially for the groom maps. And then most of what comes after is Maya and Redshift. And then onto comp, we use Nuke. And we did actually use After Effects on this as well, because there were a lot of 2D effects that we needed to sort of get together pretty quick. Yeah. So it was very handy for that. So no, we were focusing for the lighting because we had sort of quite quick turnaround on it, on getting as much form into the characters, because it's sort of very ambient an environment, but then the kind of direction on it was very sort of strong with a lot of silhouetting, and the characters had a lot of shape and volume to them. So if you look at one of the scenes, I mean, the shots are sort of, they're lit, but what we actually did was just create shadow. And there was just a million light blockers in there trying to sort of get, you know, their faces and the kind of light falling off the way that we wanted. So we kept the lighting much more neutral, and then we did a lot of the kind of grading and stuff to bring it back to the palette that we were going for.
Well, it's always tricky to work with snow because it's just one color, so working with white is always a challenge. Try to find the right balance between shadow and light.
So yeah, one of the main challenges was translating the characters' designs from 2D to 3D, and some of the limitations we had in the software meant that we had to sort of adapt the way we did the birds. So Redshift doesn't support the archive system in XGen at the moment, so we couldn't do actual feather geometry. So instead we used hair to sort of emulate the effect, using various attributes and modifiers inside the groom to create that sort of feathery effect. And it, yeah, in a way it did help because they sort of sat in the same world as the Lynx more.
On this project we combine the roles lighting and comp together, and the benefit of that is being able to problem solve shots, being more efficient with our resources, knowing where to re-render frames and knowing where it can be fixed in post, which may be quicker still get the end result that we needed. Yeah.
Certainly, one of the biggest difference between Lynx and Birds and the previous short is the amount of time given by Blue Zoo to the team in order to finish it. Before it was 5-8 weeks for a short film. This year we had up to 5 months from the initial idea to the final renders, which was very good for the team. It allowed us to experiment with a few techniques and tricks we hadn't used before. We had pretty clear in mind what kind of soundtrack we were going for. We wanted something orchestral, something classical, a bit of a Peter and the Wolf feel to it, where you have a relationship between a family, a small family, and a predator, a threat. We wanted to have that kind of feeling as well in this short. Every animal, every creature would be underlined and would be described by a different instrument, and that's what we managed to achieve as well. So we gave our animatic to a few composers, which responded with their interpretation, and we went for Brolyman, our very, very talented composer who made a very amazing soundtrack for it and gave us the opportunity also to record with a 40-piece orchestra. It was unbelievable as an experience. It was beautiful and gave so much depth to the music. You can really feel the difference when you have a whole orchestra playing for your short instead of just a digital version of it. For the voice narration, we wanted something to feel very documentary-like, almost as David Attenborough's style. So we looked on the internet and we found one of the finalists of Britain's Got Talent, Darren Altman. We got in touch and he was immediately up for it, and he decided to participate in this project.
The circle of life must also include death.
We spent almost like 3 weeks, 1 month of pre-production, and then we passed all the design to the modeling team.
Alongside with the modeling, once the rig was done, we had a month of animation, and then the last month and a half was allowing the look dev team to render and comp the shots, which was probably one of the most challenging and time-consuming part. So overall, the team counted around 15 people, 15 key people. Some other extra help was given, of course, but it wasn't a very large team, and I think everyone worked really hard to get the highest possible quality to this piece, and we are so proud of all of them.
Yeah.
Are you proud?
Definitely. Yeah, I'm proud.
I feel quite proud as well.